Hello, welcome to episode 205 of Floating Through Film. It is your host Luke, and today we are doing another FTF Theory episode where we take basically we're just kind of diving into like more film theory. Usually we take like a text or like an essay or something and then pair a movie along with it and kind of talk about it. So today is a little bit of an interesting one. We'll be doing Nagisa Oshima's In the Realm of the Senses alongside his essay about the film titled Theory of Experimental Pornographic Film. So, yeah, interesting stuff today. But before we get into it, let me introduce my co-host Blake.
What's up?
And Danny.
Hello.
Yeah, where do we start?
I mean, it's your pick, so
Yeah.
so we should start there.
I mean, In the Realm of the Senses is the classic like film. It's kind of like Salo in my mind, where like a lot of people, it's like is the Criterion release that like is very graphic, has a lot of like graphic like nudity and such in it, and so people like to just go and watch that just because of that without knowing anything about Oshima or kind of what he was going for. And so that was me when I watched it for the first time. I think that was probably both of you too.
For sure.
Actually, I didn't know about the sex part at all when the first time I watched it.
Wait, really?
Well, maybe I'd seen some. The main reason I watched it is because I bought the Criterion. This was back when I would just scroll on like Criterion and like buy based on like how cool the cover was.
Yeah.
I thought I honestly didn't know that it was that kind of movie when I first bought it.
Damn. So you're just like in for a shock.
Yeah, I did not know. I didn't know it was like the like the Salo of like his filmography or something.
Yeah.
In terms of just what you're saying.
I don't think any of us have seen Salo, by the way. That's kind of...
No.
And I love that.
Yeah, you've kind of tiptoed around it.
And Blake likes him too.
Yeah.
He's starting to like him.
Yeah, I like him a lot, actually.
Damn. Where were we at?
Why you picked this?
Yeah, so then I forgot what made me revisit it. I think it might have been I read some like reviews of it. I remember Neil Botter's review on Letterboxd. Like, when I read it, it kind of made me think of the film in a new way. Because, like, you watch it for the first time, you're like, I don't even want to, like, watch this shit again. Like, why am I...
Really?
That was what I thought. And then like...
Damn, so you really didn't like it your first time.
Like, I just didn't...
I mean, the way you just said that, you know, like...
Like, it was one of those things where, like, it's like, I don't want to say it's bad, but I just didn't think I would ever like it.
Okay.
And then I ended up proving myself wrong, obviously, because I love it now. But, yeah, it's definitely, like... Once you kind of understand what he's going for, like, it makes a lot more sense, kind of why, the sex stuff is in there, And then also, like, the fact that I then discovered this, like, essay he wrote on it, which is, like, it's definitely, like, it's kind of a cool, it's like, he gets into some kind of film theory, but he's also talking a lot about, like, his career and stuff and, like, why he made it, which is kind of cool.
Like the context.
Yeah, the context behind it.
He's giving the context of like just Japan at the time too, kind of like what they were up against even, which is awesome also.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think more so the essay is like really interesting just because it's like, it's literally just a dive into his mind and how it's actually working.
Yeah.
Like he says so many things in there. Some things like that are honestly like really shocking. Like that one part where he was like, I wish that we would have actually raped that actress on camera or whatever. Yeah. And I was like,
that
holy
was
shit,
insane.
man.
Yeah,
like, damn. Like, he's saying what's on his mind. And he's kind of just laying it all out there. And it's interesting to read.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me wonder how serious he was about that. I hope not serious.
I mean, hopefully not.
It is like, because it has this idea of like he wants to do the real thing as much as possible when he's filming, like, because, obviously Japanese film has a lot of, like, rape films.
Yeah.
So it's, like, almost like he's asking that question, too, the same way, like... Because I think he gives that story of, like, on some set, like, they were filming a sex scene and he just wondered... He had to stop, like, why can't this just be real,
Yeah. That was during the rape scene of that one movie he was talking about. Fuck, it's one from 1962. I can't remember what it's called. But it's on Criterion.
Is it the Diary of a Shin?
Maybe. I think it might be that
Coup
one.
Thief?
I forgot which one.
I think it was that
it's
one.
not Cruel Story of Our Youth, I think. Because he talked about that also, but I don't think it was that. Yeah, I think it was the Diary of a something thief. I haven't seen that one yet.
Thief,
Yeah. No, but should we like talk about the essay and the film side by side? Do you think, or like?
I mean, maybe go over the essay at least. Like, what stood out from the essay for you?
I thought what he talked about, like obscenity, was interesting. That kind of stuff, like.
Or let me put it this way, because you said this at the beginning. Like, you said Neil Bahadar helped you put like the movie make sense to you.
Yeah.
And it clicked. Like, what was that? What's that idea?
Well, that was actually more of the ideas of like the politics behind the film, kind of like.
Well, I think that relates to this essay a lot too.
No,
so
that is actually true. Because there kind of is, yeah. Because what sets it apart from just being like a common pornographic film, you know, he says experimental pornographic film, is that like common. You could say like the common like porn. You could argue that's like a function of capitalism, or like experimental pornographic film. In a sense, it almost like it's I don't know how to put it exactly. It helps point out issues with society, like it's actual, like you could say, like I don't know how to like put it personally, but
I mean, like it's taboos.
Yeah, it's taboos.
Taboos are great.
Yeah, and then just like the ideas in the film specifically about like how they're almost using sex as like a countermeasure against the kind of like nationalism or just like the world itself. I mean, that's what I think the title In the Realm of the Senses is kind of getting at. And so like, I mean, he talks about, I mean, it's honestly amazing scene in the movie where like it's like an hour and 15 minutes in, and it's like the first time you see him outside, I'm pretty sure. And at that point, well, I mean, that's a whole other thing. Like, it starts as like a slave master relationship, and then it kind of flips it on its head. Like, she almost becomes like the dominant one, you could say. Yeah. But then also like, you think they're like initially in the film, you think they're like, you think this is like him saying like this is just like how the nation is, but then you kind of the moment an hour and 15 minutes when he's walking head down in the other direction of the fascist like imperial army, like the nationalist Japanese army, when they were marching the other direction, that kind of like recontextualizes like it's like they're the world they create, or just like them, or just like they're countering.
They're resisting.
They're resisting. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's an amazing moment, but.
And like he's kind of doing that with the film itself.
Yeah.
The same way the characters are doing it.
No, yeah, exactly.
By trying to, make this kind of film that you can't make in Japan, like literally,
Yeah.
I actually don't know if this is still true, but like, for a long time it was never screened like uncut.
Yeah.
Like I was even do you guys know who Donald Ritchie is? He's like he writes a lot of Japanese cinema and just Japanese history too. I think he has a huge book in Kurosawa and stuff. But
Hozu as well, I think.
He wrote a couple essays for the Criterions for Oshima, so I read one, and he kind of gives some of the context. Damn, I forgot what I was saying. What was it?
Donald Ritchie.
Yeah.
Context of the film.
Oh my god.
I'm confused. What
I'll remember in a second.
Okay.
I always do that because I was wondering if you guys knew who Donald Ritchie was, and I forgot what I was saying about no, because because I read one of his essays. Oh yeah, he was saying in 2006 that it still hadn't been screened, uncut in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And also I'm like, I wonder if it still has in 2026. You know, because you would think because this came out in 1979.
Yeah,
76.
around there.
I forgot exactly the year.
Oh yeah, 76. 76.
So yeah, it's crazy that it still hadn't been screened in its full version 30 years later. Because Oshima even says in this essay, like, what makes this a pornographic film is that it's being censored.
Yeah,
because like his whole point, like a lot of the point of the essay is like, at least his belief is something is the pornographic part is like what's hidden. It's like what they're censoring.
Yeah.
Almost in a way. And so he's like,
that's what makes something pornographic.
Non-pornographic, we need to show it. To show everything.
No, yeah.
That's kind of like his theory,
Yeah.
almost like experimental pornographic film in a way is like by showing everything actually, because like a pornographic film in Japan anyway is censored.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to show the genitalia and stuff. So I think I find that really interesting. That was essay too. His kind of reasoning for it.
Yeah.
Especially like the obscenity part. I guess that's a huge part of the essay too. Is basically he asks that question: can a film be obscene? And that's what I was saying is because he says nothing that you actually express on screen is obscene.
Yeah.
And then he like makes the point like how like children don't see anything as obscene, right?
Yeah.
They're only taught after like what's obscene or not.
Yeah.
And that's the same way of like society censoring something that makes it obscene in a way.
Yeah.
And while I was reading that, there's a quote that I always love, and I'm so glad it clicked. And I couldn't remember the movie, and I was almost like doing the fucking like Robert Downey Jr. thing. Like,
Yeah.
Remember it, and I finally remembered it.
With the Robert Downey Jr. thing.
Maybe whatever some guy like thinks
No,
about.
that's Charlie from. Sunny.
Robert Downey Jr. That's crazy.
He also has the Jarvis thing. I was kind of thinking of that.
Huh?
And I was also
The
thinking of
Jarvis
Bradley
thing.
Cooper in Limitless when he's like, like scanning his head.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, but you haven't seen Limitless?
No.
You know Limitless.
Yeah, I don't want to listen.
Maybe that's a generation thing.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all are old.
Okay, but I'm gonna read the quote, and you should guess the movie. So,
Okay.
quote: "Censorship is not the mutilation of the show; it is the show. The code is the message. It points to the absolute by hiding it. That's what religions have always done."
Is it a quote from a movie?
Yeah.
Alphaville? It's like a dard.
No.
Who the fuck is putting this in their movie?
Sans Soleil.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Do you remember the scene? It's in Japan too.
Oh, is it the animal sex movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And he's like saying that's like almost a way for them like almost try to get around it.
Yeah.
But no, because that's honestly damn like that kind of has the same theme as this one. You know, they kind of make the same point. Honestly, I think my favorite part of the essay is him. Like this is probably true with all directors when they start talking. It's more just like they start talking generally about like what directing is and stuff.
Yeah.
Because do you remember what he says a film is?
The film is desires, yeah.
Films are desires visualized.
Yes, he says films are he says most people say films are desires visualized.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a visualization of the director's desire specifically.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
This was the quote that I used in my review for In the Realm of the Senses today.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a great quote.
was
Damn, you this is the first time you ever logged a movie before the podcast.
I'm trying to keep better.
Yeah, what the
track of
fuck?
it.
Yeah.
I just realized that. I was like, wait, did you watch it last year or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
No, but yeah, okay, yeah, that's probably my favorite quote too.
No, that's a great quote.
And then he says something that he says, basically trying to hide his desires, basically made them appear more vividly.
Yeah.
And that reminds me also of another quote from one of my favorite directors. I even read it on the Brisson episode, where it's in his notes. He says, "quote Hide the ideas, but so that people find them. The most important will be the most hidden." It's almost exactly.
I remember
kind
you
of
reading
what he
that.
said. No, it's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
No, because I found that really interesting too. Like in the Donald Ritchie essay I read, he goes through like kind of the examples of why, like what the difference between a like classic Pinku film was in Japan at the time versus like why his film was different. And I thought like some of the I don't know if you can guess some of the formal techniques that he points out, like what makes this different than just maybe like a normal pornographic film.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys could.
Wait, so you're saying
Like what makes Oshima's films different than like a normal?
Yeah. I mean,
like what makes a quote unquote art film?
it's not like.
It's not hypersexualized. I would
Yeah,
say,
it's not like
honestly.
super like
Yes, that's what I'm
gratuitous.
Gratuitous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Like
This
it's
guy knows
not
words.
like it's not shot like normal pornography.
Yes,
Obviously,
that's
that's the
exactly
biggest part.
And he points out some like techniques that I thought were interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one way the way he says it is like in a normal, as opposed to like a normal Pink film, the two actors aren't actually trying to titillate us, the audience. You know,
They're titillating each other.
that's exactly what he says. It's about two real people who are titillating each other instead.
Yeah.
So it's like they're literally doing it for their own pleasure, not for audience member that's watching, you know. And I think that's probably I mean, like, if someone is watching this, like, the same way you were talking about Sailor or some of these other, like, controversial movies of all time, blah, 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 and then you go to watch this, a lot of people are probably super disappointed.
No, yeah. It's
you know?
There's bad it's more graphic.
Because they hear, oh, there's so much nudity, there's so much sex, it's all, you know, it's all on screen. It's like, and then you watch it, it's like we're saying, it's like not about that at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost about, like, it's about the couple themselves, you know, not about our excitement of watching it or reactions to it. Or,
and then they see a dick cut off too. Yeah,
that's the most kind of like audience, almost for the audience too.
Even that, it's kind of underplayed still.
It is, but even that, like, compared to the rest of the movie, it's like
compared to the rest of the movie,
there's like so much red. Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, that's what would happen. There would be a lot of red in this situation.
I don't know, Blake. Is there anything that stood out for you?
I mean, you guys have talked about most of them, but I know, like, one of the other quotes is like he made this to kind of like break taboo.
Yes.
Which I feel like that's just a huge thing with Oshima in general. Like, he makes a lot of his movies just to try to like break taboos. Like, his literal last movie is called Taboo for a reason, you know, like
the one we've actually reviewed.
The one that we've actually reviewed before, but no, I did love this essay though, for sure. Flurry brought up some great points. So
I was gonna bring up at least some of the form.
Oh, well, there's a great quote too. For the president, obscene is a legal term. To fight a legal term, one must travel the convoluted road of making it meaningless. I love that quote.
Exactly. That's what he's trying to say. Is like, like, to make something not obscene, you have to show it.
Yeah.
You know. And like, obviously, Blake said that's like a theme throughout his career. I think he even says something at the end of the essay. I think it's kind of important. Because what do you think? What's the taboo he's trying to break in this film?
Sex.
Monogamy.
Or
because not just that. Obviously, he's like he supports the sex. I think
because it's the quote about how the actor of the movie, the main actor, is a married man. Like, he was like a very well-known and respected actor, and he decided to do this movie, and that was like how it's kind of like showing it was like British.
It's like what if Leonardo DiCaprio did this?
I don't think he was that popular.
No, not that
I don't think he was even close to that popular, but he was at least a well-respected actor. And what he says, at least the quote, the English translation is, he was trying to break the taboo surrounding sacralization of the monogamy system.
Yeah.
And I love how he points out basically doing this in two ways at once. Versus, like, in terms of the history of film, it not actually be done in film itself, like saying like an actor doing this, a low-respect actor, but then also in just Japanese history itself, you know, he's saying it's like working on multiple levels like that, which I thought that was interesting. But okay, the one thing I want to point out was because some of these points he says I think are interesting, like the formal techniques he uses to kind of make it almost an anti-pink film, even though on the surface, that's what people might expect, you know. Because he says, he goes earlier in the essay about Don, which he does about, like, how a normal, at least at the time, pornography's probably changed a lot during the last 30 years or so. But he says, like, they use, in a normal film, like, they'll use a lower camera that's really close to the actor, that's always moving for the action, for whatever the best action is. And he says, opposed to that, Oshima's camera is basically static.
Yeah.
And then also in the same kind of vein, it's usually slightly higher than the actors, but almost always shows their whole bodies for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't, like, what he says is like fragment the bodies for the imagination to use. Instead, it's just always their whole bodies for the most part. You know.
Yeah.
And then he says one point that I'd honestly kind of forgot while I was watching this, but did you know this was based on a true story?
Yeah.
I'd kind of forgot until the end.
Because, Obayashi has this...
Oh, actually, yeah. You had just watched the Obayashi one, too, huh?
Crazy how different those two movies are, by the way, but...
do they have, like, the same ideas at all?
Yeah, I like the Obayashi one. I think In the Realm of This is better, just in general, but...
Do they like this... I cannot talk. Do they have, like, the same ideas or similar ideas?
So, Obayashi is kind of a mixture of just their relationship, and then also kind of just showing who Asada Abe was as a person, or his... It's super interesting. Like, Obayashi always makes interesting movies, because he basically sets this up telling you like everything that you're going to be seeing about Sada Abe's life pre everything she does with this man is kind of fake, but he's going to tell it anyway. So he's like basically just kind of like making shit up almost. But there's so many fucking interesting things that happen in the very beginning of that movie where it's just like her life as a prostitute before meeting, like, because that's implied in this, obviously. Like, she's a serving girl for this master, but she was obviously used to be a prostitute. And I mean, that might be well known and stuff, but Obayashi actually does like that stuff that he goes into in his movie. Yeah. And there, I think so. I can't remember who it was, but someone on Letterboxd has a great point, because there is a certain scene in that movie where it was like it would make Vertov I don't know, basically go insane, because it was just like a shot of her just like looking up at all of her lovers that she's seen over the year, basically. And it was just like cut very, very quickly, but but no, it's not. It's kind of similar, but also not at all, because Obayashi, you know, like he doesn't really believe in.
Yeah, they're different directors.
They're different types of directors.
Yeah.
But you did bring up like something else about one of the things I was going to mention was a lot of people in Japan, or I guess overseas, but the audience he was trying to make it for was Japan. They would have had knowledge of this incident.
Yes.
And so that's another thing that kind of like and Don Ritchie talks about in his essay how like normally you're like when you're watching a pink film or a normal pornographic film, you're trying to basically you don't want to humanize the characters. You know, you don't want to have empathy for them. But this is almost the exact opposite. You know, like the more the film goes on, even though they're just having sex, like you get more empathetic for them throughout. You know, especially her and like kind of her obsession.
Well, and I will say the similarities between the two is they both do view her in a positive light. I would say at the very least, like I even think Oshima kind of like views her positively, because they both end kind of the same way, showing how like the Japanese public supported her whenever they found out about the murder, and how she was like, they both mentioned how she was smiling even when she was captured, and Obayashi actually includes like the picture of the real photo, or like the real photo, but
especially as like a symbol of this resistance. It's kind of like Luke brought up at the beginning, you know. And that kind of goes what I was been trying to say is like basically the audience would have known about this amputation already.
Yes.
So he says something like, it's basically hard to get excited. Like it's hard to want to be this guy if you know what's going to happen to him. Yeah. You know, versus like a normal pornographic film. Like, the dick's not going to
like your dick and balls are
coming exactly. Off. Yeah.
I guess not his balls, but like.
Well, she did, yeah.
Is it all of it?
Yeah,
did they go?
All of it.
Oh, never mind. The balls are coming out.
You're not paying attention like Blake was.
It's all of it.
No, yeah. Blake was locked in.
Do you remember the essay, though, whenever he said that every man in the audience that they showed this to said that it like hurt them physically whenever they saw that scene?
Well, I think the most interesting part is what he says right after that.
Yeah, he's like, I did, it doesn't hurt me at all.
And he's like, there's some liberation in that. And then he says, there's some self-liberation in filmmaking.
Yeah. No, there's someone I follow on Letterboxd made the point, like, just the mere sight of seeing a knife and a penis in the same frame, just like, you don't even want to, like, just makes you squirm.
I mean, yeah. But then he also compares some of these, basically he points out how Oshima only uses straight cuts in this. So basically no dissolves, no fades. And that kind of basically keeps editing to a very minimum.
Yeah.
And then also, he uses ellipsis in the narrative a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And he says those last two are kind of like Ozu.
Yeah.
In a way. But, one more thing I thought was interesting was, and this is probably just another kind of critique on, you know, Japanese society and, you know, all of society as well. But the woman actress, she's honestly, like, she carries this movie, basically. But she was kind of relatively unknown.
It's her movie, definitely.
Yeah. She was kind of relatively unknown compared to the male actor.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of hard to convince, like, I feel like, any
like, he also wanted someone relatively unknown.
Yeah.
Compared, I think I heard someone talk, or I read somewhere that they considered using, like, a more pink actress that was more famous for this, but he wanted someone unknown to kind of, like, so people wouldn't associate with something else.
Yeah.
But he was able to keep his career, like, even after and stuff. And Don Ritchie says he never even played, like, another kind of role where he had to be nude again. But basically, she was, like, basically kind of, like, it was very controversial for her what she did. You know, compared to how they treated him.
Yeah.
And she basically didn't get any acting work outside of just, like, sex roles and stuff. Yeah. And she moved to France. after a while.
Damn. She make movies there?
I don't know if she acted anything. She just lived there. Like Donald Ritchie interviewed her, I guess, when she was in France.
Oh, damn. Stop being long. Get her in a movie.
For real.
Actually, I saw a podcast because I always search for like what a movie we're doing in the realm of senses, and a podcast did in the realm of senses with another movie of size. That was like kind of interesting.
Wayward Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's like there's some similarities there.
Honestly, damn, this
At least-
movie is better. I think honestly, but
Okay. Dang, the Psy head saying that too is crazy.
I mean, it's not his least favorite side movie.
favorite.
What?
It's least favorite side movie.
It's my least favorite side movie.
Still, but I still would.
What?
I'm so surprised.
Okay.
It's still a great movie.
Also, Donald Ritchie brought up another film. Actually, it's another director, but we didn't do this film. It's a French film.
Doing well.
Liam Morpheau.
I haven't seen Liam.
Because he says that in French.
You've
Literally,
seen Liam
he says
I have not seen Liam.
Oh, I thought you said I could see it.
No.
Like in terms of like.
No.
Oh, never mind.
No,
I was like, damn, Blake, where'd you watch that? Anyway,
because he says like the French have a great term for like what this movie's about, Liam Morpheau.
Yeah.
Which is basically like two people consumed by love.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like what that literally means, and
no, yeah.
he says Rivette's film is about that too.
Definitely about that, 100%.
So I really need to watch that.
All those movies. No.
I feel like you've read multiple quotes about Liam Morpheau.
I mean also I'm watching the Rivette Renoir series now.
Yeah.
So after I watch that, I'm gonna watch it.
Damn. Okay.
Because that's the movie you made right after it.
I saw that you watched Rules of the Game again.
Yeah, I rewatched that.
Oh damn.
You liked it more.
I liked it more.
I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear that. Thank God.
I mean, I've always loved it. I mean, should we get into the movie now? Or is there anything specific?
Yeah, we can get into the movie. I mean, I don't like I feel like we're just gonna kind of talk about like certain parts of it because like, you know, going through it, it's like there's a lot of like, there's not a lot of plot and just like.
Let's start like what's your overall thoughts on it?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I already kind of said
whatever
it.
Comes up. Yeah.
I do love the movie, which is weird because there is a lot of sex in it, but like I don't know, I find it kind of like, I don't know, I almost find it kind of freeing in a way. And also the non-sex scenes are really good too. So like, I don't know, there's like this like there's the moment where they're like playing in the rain with the umbrella. And it's like such a beautiful moment.
Really
oh, that is a great moment.
Yeah, it definitely gets wild, but like I don't know. I guess I love the ideas a lot, and so I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to like really like. Yeah, I love the sex scenes. Like,
but is there anything specific maybe about them, or like just because how real it is, maybe?
Yeah, how real it is. I think that's why I kind of
without being like gratuitous. Like
yeah, exactly.
It is unique.
And I would never recommend this movie to anyone.
I mean, you just did on the podcast.
Okay, but you guys are different. You guys are the exception.
I mean, literally, people listening, like, it's kind of a recommendation when we review it. You know?
Shit, you're right.
We recommend.
I love how you said that, and you're the one who recommended it. Literally.
Yeah,
fuck.
you're
like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
I would never recommend this to a normal person.
I mean,
let's be real.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, what are y'all's thoughts?
I mean, I can go next. I definitely liked it more than the first time I watched it.
Okay.
I remember the first time I watched it. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it really, and I was like, damn, this is too much. This is too much sex in this for me. And it was kind of slow at the time. Like, what year did I watch? I should have looked.
It is a slower. But this movie looks amazing too. Did I mention that?
It does.
Like,
it does. It's kind of very low key.
It is very low key, but like,
yeah. I like to. There's like a couple scenes in it that keep me from loving it. Maybe
the egg scene.
Yeah, the egg scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, honestly, in the scene with the kids.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's short. That's like really.
It's short, but I'm like
yeah, it is weird.
This is insane. Like,
it's a little weird. It is weird.
It's just stuff like where it's like more like there are certain films where I'm like I think I even said this with The Wayward Cloud. Like I respect it more than I like it.
Yeah.
Because like just to go back to the Bresson quote of like hide what's most important. In a way, like they both believe that in a way about the themes, but it's almost like Bresson's films are literally about that too. Like like how do you almost not show something with your images?
Yeah.
Like literally. But then this film is almost like, you know, he's trying to break a taboo by doing the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, by showing everything.
Yeah.
Almost trying to reach that point. But like by showing everything, it's just like it's not an experience I love having. You know, the same way.
Yeah.
There's just other films I like the experience of watching too. It doesn't mean I don't like this film. Like I think themes are amazing. Like the kind of obsession too.
Yeah.
That happens. Like,
you just don't really like watching it necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Even though there's a certain kind of quality where like the first few sex scenes are kind of like shocking, you know, especially seeing this like old guy's dick at the very beginning of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And then, but as you get into it, the movie does get you into a certain like great directors do. They get you into the rhythm by the time you're into it. So. Okay. And like honestly, just reading the essay helped me like it more too.
Okay, yeah.
Just like anytime I can.
Does it make you want to watch more Oshima?
Yeah, I do. I need to watch Merry Christmas.
Yes, you do.
I thought you already watched it.
For how much you guys have seen him talked about it now, I haven't watched it yet.
Didn't this guy watch? I swear this guy watched it.
I don't.
No, I haven't.
I remember you guys telling me you watched it.
Did I watch it?
I think I might have chosen it for a movie night, maybe.
I swear, I remember Danny saying he watched it.
Maybe we did watch it once.
Damn, this guy doesn't even fucking remember it.
I don't remember it. That's
crazy.
probably
That's insane to me.
Literally insane.
Okay, maybe we did. There's like a Christmas scene or something.
Yeah, it's called Merry Christmas for Lawrence.
I didn't even rate it. Damn.
What the fuck?
I don't know what happened that night.
Were you like off the wazoo? Bro?
I wasn't paying attention or something. I don't know.
Damn.
Crazy.
I didn't even watch it again then.
Damn, what the fuck? I mean, there's also other movies because I need to rewatch a lot too.
No, this immediately made me watch Death by Hanging.
Death by Hanging is good.
Which I watched that this morning.
Nine Fog in Japan, Pleasures of the Flesh, which he actually talked about in the essay.
He talked about.
He was kind of disappointed in that movie. Apparently, like, I think he talked
about a lot of his movies.
That might have been the movie brought him. He's like, I wish I had gone all the way.
No, I think that was exactly.
No, I think it was Diary of a Shizuru.
But he also Pleasures of the Flesh. He also mentioned that.
It's the same kind of thing. Like basically, he didn't go all the way in those.
Yeah. I mean, we talked. We watched Taboo on the podcast, but yeah, no, he has a lot of really cool films.
Well, Blake, what about you? What do you think of this one?
No, yeah, I really love this one this time. Like the first time I watched it was very much like Luke. Like I didn't know who Oshima was. I just went in knowing the controversy behind it, and I was like, okay, that was a movie for sure. I did still like the aesthetic, obviously, because I love Japanese films, and that is still something I love this time. It is a beautiful movie to just watch, honestly. Like the sex scenes, yes, but it's just like all the kimonos that they're wearing, the interiors themselves, and the colors and everything. Yeah. It just looks amazing.
No, he definitely it's like he creates like the idea of them like creating their own world. The film reflects that a lot. Like it truly feels like its own world in a way. Like this kind of the way just like aesthetically it looks, you could say.
Yes.
And after watching more Oshima, obviously, I'd have a better sense of who he is as a director. I think I've still only seen like 6 or 7. He's done a lot more that I still need to watch, obviously, but I at least know what he's kind of like going for, and I respect the hell out of the movie, and I gave this like a 4.5, and I will stand by that forever. But I still don't know how often I'll watch this movie, like just because I have to find the right time, you know, like when no one else is at home. No.
This is a classic walk in at the wrong time.
Yeah,
like,
no, you have to be careful, bro. You have to like.
No, it's an art film. It's an art film.
Yeah,
as she's spitting out. No,
okay, what do you think it'd be worse if they walked in on them just like having sex, or
that wouldn't be
her cutting the dick off? Which one do you think is worse? Or
the dick scene would be fine. I feel like.
I mean, yeah, because that's a more like typical horror kind of. Like, especially out of context, like, oh, she's getting revenge, you know?
Okay,
like
yeah.
Because there are a lot of movies like that.
But the other one, they're like, oh my god, they are literally...
Especially, like, the way it's shot, you know? Like,
yeah.
I do think, like, there's a...
They might think it's, like, you're watching some weird porn because it's not, like, normal porn, but...
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this is like deep cut shit. You know?
But they'd be like, why are you watching this on the big screen?
What website is this on?
Like, do you know your phone's casting right now?
Bro.
No, but I do love both the actors, too. Like, the main actors, obviously.
No, yeah.
They're both great. I even like the side actors, too. Like the old geisha I liked, and then his wife I also really liked, too. Like, they got some pretty
I will say,
solid
like,
performances of these people.
I mean, you saying that kind of reminds me, like, one thing I do wish, like, okay, it's maybe not a wish, it's the wrong way to say it, is, like, I did like the scenes of the outside world a little bit, you know, like, the kind of contrast of, like, you pointed out the scene that's a lot of people talk about of the army walking the other way as, like, a sign of resistance.
Yeah.
But, like, I wish there was a little more of that kind of stuff, you know, just to kind of give a contrast to, like, I know the end goal of the movie is, like, you know, immersion into their world, you know, their senses, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did like the outside, like, even just the scene of them walking outside and, like, kind of like bullying that woman, you know, just like just them kind of their interactions with this rest of the world and stuff.
Yeah.
Like those are kind of some of my favorite scenes too.
Yeah.
You might like Sada, honestly, though.
Which one?
Sada.
Is that Obiashi?
Yeah, that's Obiashi's. Because his has a lot of just them interacting with the outside world, kind of.
Because this was a really popular story in Japan. It probably still is. Like, for a lot of people, they know about it there.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Well, I know that at the end of Obayashi's, he does mention that she wrote, like, an autobiography, too.
Yes.
So she actually has, like, her story out there.
Yeah.
And I will say, that is something both these movies also have in common, is you can very much tell this is from her perspective at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's her perspective of the events, because obviously we don't know his perspective because he's dead. So it's kind of just like...
And honestly, to put it in the kind of film's version of saying that is... It's from her perspective, but it's like basically about her pleasure.
Yes.
Where like a lot of, you could say, pornographic films, are just, especially sex films in cinema, it's about the male gaze, or aka the male's pleasure. You know. So that's another difference about this one. That's it's kind of about her. Like you said, or someone said, like it starts out as a master-slave relationship, but it's really It's really her. You know, it's about
kind of a gradual process before she kind of takes over.
But I like how it's not just like purely like seen as like just a good thing and then she wins at the end kind of thing, like a superhero movie, or even like a revenge thriller or something, you know, or even like a revenge thriller where they get revenge at the end. It's like more like it's like an obsession that actually leads in an obsession kind of way. You know?
Definitely.
And it feels like even more honest with how kind of like you know, like poetic the ending is.
No, yeah.
With like the way it's shot and stuff.
Yeah.
Before Donald Ritchie mentions a few other films from the 70s that had this theme of breaking sexual taboos. I wanted to see if you could get... There's one that I've never even heard of this guy. His name is Dusan Makavejev, who made W.R. Mysteries of the Organism in 1971. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
I was like, it sounds interesting.
Does sound interesting.
But there's two other directors that I know Luke loves. Both of these, at least the films.
Glad I'm not being put on
that have this.
That this theme of breaking sexual taboos.
Breaking sexual
as a main theme of the film.
Have I seen them?
You've seen one of these. We've done one of these directions on the podcast, actually.
Have we done the film?
And we did the film on we did the film on the podcast.
Okay,
is it Godard?
Is it Godard?
No.
It's Rivette.
These are more. No, it's not Rivette.
What the?
I'll name the director.
Okay.
Altman.
He's breaking sexual taboos?
As a major cinematic theme.
And
I already gave you another clue, 1970s.
You did.
Okay, most of them are in the 1970s.
You like all the good ones?
Hold on. So we did McCabe and Mrs. Miller. We did the long...
Is that it?
Is that
It is McCabe and Mrs.
Okay, I guess, the prostitute.
Honestly,
it's McCabe and Mrs. Miller.
Yeah.
I
had that in mind, but I was like, I don't want to, like, send it. That's what doesn't make sense. It's going to make me feel stupid.
Like, it definitely
I was worried it's going to make me, like, feel, like, seem stupid.
I shame you, like...
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck is that?
No, it's Perry Home Companion. Oh, the other one is,
Wait, can I guess?
Who's the director?
Well, it's, okay, you want me to name the director? You'll get it easily.
Name the country. Name the country.
It's Italy.
Fellini?
No,
we haven't done the director.
Antonioni.
No.
Italy.
You're basically naming the other one. It's just the other Italian director.
Other Italian director.
No, the other one. No, we already said no. We haven't done this director.
Oh,
wait, that I love. Oh, Visconti.
No.
Bro, what the?
Bertolucci.
Oh, okay. Last Tango. But like that.
And the other one. You named both of them.
Conformist. Oh,
the Conformist and Last Tango in Paris.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, you're acting like I'm a huge Bertolucci fan.
Well, I know you love those movies. At least the Conformist.
I love the Conformist.
That's all I said. I was like, I know you love the Conformist.
I thought you said I love the director, and I was like,
you probably will, like, when you watch them.
Yeah, I just haven't really watched it at all. It's just like name the Italian.
I'm guessing the future.
We named every other Italian director except for him. That was crazy.
That was
like all the main ones, all the old main ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can get into it.
I mean, we can just like kind of
like what try to describe the overall plot, like what happens in this movie, and then we'll start from there. Like in your head, like the whole thing. That's.
they have sex. It almost feels like he's kind of taking advantage of her, but then slowly but surely she takes advantage of him. But then it kind of is not really, but they're kind of like taking advantage of each other against the world.
So do you actually see? Do you think they're taking advantage? Like that's what the first thing.
Yeah, it's like it's weird. It's weird.
Do you think? I agree with the first part you said. Like it at least feels that way. He's taking advantage of her, right? Like the power relations. Like
or she's flipping that on his head.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like he likes it though. It's not like
that is true. You make a really good point. And yeah, it's like insane.
I think like the way he acts at the beginning. He has obviously done this with many of his serving girls before, but he has never met someone like her once they actually start to do
someone finally matched his freak.
Exactly.
Honestly, yeah.
That's kind of what this movie is about, though.
Especially with that kind of in a way, rebellion against the, and in a way of in being willing to rebel against a society that's like going to look down on you for doing this.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh damn. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, you didn't finish your description.
And then she got the stick off.
Yeah, you're like that's.
Curtains closed. But yeah, I mean,
because there are some kind of like you said, the side characters a little bit like.
The old guy.
Like basically when they split up for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, there's actually two old guys, right?
The beginning old guy.
There's the limp dick old guy. Or I think they're both kind of like that. There's the homeless. He's homeless, right? First guy?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe just like sleeping outside.
He looks homeless.
He does look homeless.
And then there's like the client old guy.
He's like the teacher or something.
Yeah, who she has to like beat up for him to like get off.
Principal or something.
Yeah.
Which that I guess is also a real thing because that was also Nobayashi's movie.
No, I listened to a podcast about this and they said a lot of this is like true to the stories of the interviews she did right after with the police. A lot of this sticks to that actually, which is kind of crazy. Because you never know when like something says it's based on a true story, like how much it is. Or I should have said this at the beginning, but that's another thing that actually hit me at the end. I know a lot of people would have already known about this story going into it, you know. But if you didn't know about this story and you just thought it was a fictional story, I do think it's really interesting to leave at till the very end based on a true story instead of not saying it at the very beginning at all. True. You know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of movies say at the beginning, you know, based on a true story, to kind of get you in that kind of this actually happened kind of feel, you know. But to save that to the very end, it's just like kind of, and then the way it does it too, it's like such a poetic moment. Then all of a sudden, it's just like this narrator, like really like almost like a documentary, like this is, you know, just reading like facts of the case, you know, or something. It's a weird kind of contrast, like a moment.
Yeah. Anything like what else do you think like?
I mean, do you just want to go through like some major scenes that stick out to us? Because I will say, obviously, the first scene of her seeing him is huge.
Yeah,
in more ways than one. No,
the movie starts out like there's that one like servant girl that's like is like seducing her. Right?
Yeah.
That's like how the movie starts.
Yeah,
and then,
that is true.
And she's like, "You want to see this?"
Basically, already getting you like what kind of this house already is not like a normal kind of place.
Yeah. They get some stuff. They're having some good freak offs. So.
And it's also getting us like she's a new person here.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, that scene is very memorable.
Also, it's like kind of foreshadowing for the end when she like picks up a knife and almost stabs some other woman. I forgot what they get in a fight about something. I forgot what their fight is.
Oh yeah. She calls her a whore.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And then she's like, "What's wrong with that?" Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when
that's what gets him.
Her. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's like, "Why don't you use these hands for something else?" In the movie's context, really romantic. You know? Actually, like, because Donald Ritchie says this, like, because he says in a way, like, how this film is about breaking social conventions with a couple, like creating their own world, is like a modern day Romeo and Juliet. I was like, that's actually kind of interesting to think about it that way. You know, like a very like, like I don't know how Romeo and Juliet was taken at the time, etc. But I know it has those same themes. You know, the idea of like a couple kind of against the world. You know, against social convention was like.
Damn, yeah.
So I wonder if like this is like a romantic moment in that kind of mind, in that kind of almost in that way. You know.
Yeah.
Because it does have some of those, I guess, conventional aspects too, at least at the beginning. Like.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn. There's also that moment where he says like, "Yeah, it feels better when my bladder's full." Yeah, there's some crazy lines in this movie.
There are some crazy lines.
Which, I mean, you would expect, but...
And a lot of them, it's just like, it's definitely in terms of like, you know, they're not, it's these aren't lines to get you excited as a viewer.
No, yeah.
It's more about just showing how obsessed they are with each other.
Yeah.
You know, as we talked
just
about.
Like the egg scene, too.
Well, that one is more like, it almost feels like he is trying to almost like show his power a little bit over. Like, it feels like that to me a little bit.
But also, like, they are kind of insane for doing that.
They are. And apparently that was true. Or at least the food stuff.
Good for them, whatever they're into.
Yeah, I know, that was crazy.
Personally, me
1930s. I think she lived in the 1930s or something.
Yeah.
That's whenever the crime was committed. It's the big part. The big reason why the backdrop of this being when it is so important is because it's literally right before World War One, or like right before Japan goes to invade Manchuria.
I mean, I guess that's also the thing with Obayashi. Like, that's like a lot of what his films are about.
Yeah.
Like the kind of like how like Japan at the time kind of got swept up in this like nationalist fever. I guess like a similarity between this and Obayashi, which we're obviously about to talk about. So
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I do think personally for me a huge scene in this movie is obviously whenever they get married too.
Okay, yeah.
Like that.
Is it a real marriage? It's kind of like, at least to them it is.
At least to them.
At least in this house it is.
Because this is where this is the majority of the time we spend at this house. The rest of the
movie. Well, the guy he initially had a wife, didn't he?
Yeah. He still has a wife after that.
Yeah.
Does he still have a wife?
Yeah. That's why it kind of confused me. It's like, oh, okay, so he must have divorced his wife and that made this. But then he goes back and visits his real wife and stuff.
And gets money. And
that's when she's getting jealous. Yeah, that's when she's getting jealous.
This guy's crazy.
That's why I'm like, it must not have been like that's where it's like he's even playing with the idea of like what's a marriage, you know? Yeah. Like it's not registered with the government, but it's like in this area it's a marriage, you know? That's how they all see him in a way.
I mean, she even says something in that scene. She's like, I've never had, like, because he's like, what are you doing? She's like, I've never had a wedding before, and he's like, well, I want my bride to have had a wedding before. So, and they just laughs at
like how many weddings end in like orgy with all the other women too?
Bro, that was crazy.
This guy needs to be stopped.
He was stopped.
I mean, he does get stopped.
Yeah, I guess that is true. My wish has been fulfilled. Damn. There's some great like sunset shots too. Just some of the lighting in these scenes are just.
It is. It's a very quietly beautiful movie. You know.
Like there's this one scene where they're like having sex. I think it's actually when it's with the old guy. There's like this green like hue lighting, kind of like a Vertigo from like Vertigo, like similar to that type of like green neon lighting. I'm
glad you brought up the color too, because remember in the essay we read. He said he got annoyed by this guy asking him, why do you make films?
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, I do it to express myself or something. Yeah. And the guy's like, okay, so why don't you just make them in 8mm films in black and white? Yeah. And he's like, well, for the theme I'm going for with beauty, I need widescreen and color to do it or something. Yeah. I'm like, oh, damn, that's a great reason. Yeah.
I mean, he made some good black and white movies too.
Bro. Yes.
Damn.
Death by hanging.
I mean, since we're kind of talking about this, like, there's just one shot. Even though I know this movie's about showing sex, you know, and that's like why it was made and stuff. Maybe this is just like a 2026 mindset too. We didn't talk about this at the beginning, but like now, like in 1979 or whatever, like it was still like pornography was like hard to get and like kind of rare. Now it's like obviously a huge part of our society, no matter like whether we want to or whether.
It takes you 5 seconds to find
Yes, exactly. Like it's way more in your face than it was back then.
Yeah.
So like honestly, just some of my favorite shots in these. Like my favorite one I'll always remember is like I forgot what color is which, but there's like a red. They're each wearing like one of them's wearing red and one of them is wearing purple. But there's like a shot where they're behind this like really like this like glass that's like really hazy, like kind of like blurring their colors. So you only see their kimonos hanging like in red and blue, and then you see their bodies come up, like right next to it. But it's like distorted glass, you know. So like you only see the colors, and they're like white, and they're like you know, their skin. It's like it's a gorgeous shot too, and I just thought that was kind of ironic. Like one of my favorite shots in the film is just like. You know, just like almost like if you were doing a sex scene, but you're not showing. You know,
but you're not allowed to show.
Yeah. It's like one of those like.
Yeah.
Because if I watched this a couple more times, I would try to pay attention to like the colors kimonos she wears too, like when they change and stuff. Yeah. Because I'm sure there's something there too for how like.
It's like a Luke Skywalker, like he slowly gets darker his clothes, and then it like sheds it. Isn't that like a whole thing? Like.
I did not know that. I know you're a Star Wars head like that.
I remember it's like the classic like fun fact. Oh my god, his clothes get darker as the trilogy goes on, and then like.
I mean that's true.
And he like takes it off and it like becomes white at like the final battle or something, right?
Yeah, that's kind of cool actually.
George Lucas taking influence from Oshima.
I mean, maybe it was a Kurosawa thing. I can see Kurosawa doing that too.
Oh yeah, Kurosawa definitely love doing that shit. Yeah.
That's like one more. This is definitely a you know, you have to experience like it would be weird like we could talk about the sex scenes. Like I don't know if there's anything specifically about any of them you remember.
So now they're in Cowgirl.
Well, I will say one thing that is you saying that is like another thing about the power dynamic we've talked about is she's mostly on top the whole film.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, it's almost like it's very much shown that she is almost too much for him, and that's kind of why he likes it. Because there are multiple times later on in this movie, whenever they're in that room, that he's just like, "You can do it, but I'm not going to be able to get up." Something like, but you can do it, and then because it's whenever most of the strangulation starts to happen, because that's like what keeps him awake at first, you know. But
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of moments like that, like when they're outside and like that old lady's like watching them, like that's just one of the funniest moments,
bro.
Like when he cuts that wide shot and she's just standing there, like
he's like, "You like what you see, Granny?" Or he's like, "You got some spunk, Granny."
Oh my gosh,
that's great.
No.
And then maybe another moment I remember too, and just like in terms of like how they were creating their own world. Like one of the moments that stands out to me is when she goes and visits like this professor guy the second time.
Yeah.
And he says something like, "Oh, you smell so bad" or something like.
You smell like a sewer rat.
Yeah,
it's something rad. Like you smell like a rat. And I'm like,
and,
damn.
Like, that really goes with the idea of like they really did create their own world. You know, like to where like they don't know like they don't know what they smell like, you know, to the outside world almost. Yeah. You know?
Well, because whenever she comes back after that is whenever she gets really mad at him because he left to go to the barber and they clean the room, and the first thing she says is, I like the smell of our room, it's not here anymore, or whatever. So, and that's like directly after she comes back from the professor. Or from the principal or whatever he is. Yeah.
No, this...
Yeah, this is great. What did she have written on him, by the way, too, at the end?
It's like Sada and
Abe together
forever.
Together forever.
Yeah,
that's a great.
Like that.
There is one thing, actually, Donald Ritchie points out.
Because that's real. Apparently, she actually wrote that on his body before she left. Damn. Yeah.
See, that's interesting.
She was cooking, bro. She was cooking.
Because let's
gain respect.
That's it. That's crazy. Because what he said, Donald Ritchie points out, is like another thing Oshima did to kind of, you know, give more importance to the narrative, like a normal pornographic film wouldn't do, is in the original case, she was only with this guy for 6 days, and he makes it 6 months in the movie, kind of elongate the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't know it was only 6 days. That's crazy.
I know. That's why I'm like, damn, only 6 days that she was doing that. Like 6 months, it makes a little more sense. You know, if they were each other all the time. I guess it makes more. It does give you that kind of time immersion with the 6 months versus like 6 days would make it feel really kind of like. That's still really interesting to me in its own way. But, you can almost do like more real time, I guess. If there was like immersion like that.
I do think, now that I'm actually thinking about it, it's always hard with Obayashi the first time watching his movies, but I'm pretty sure he does show them day by day. So I think he does show the 6 day version.
Oh.
But I'd have to watch the movie again because there's obviously a lot going on in the movie. So. But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, I also do personally really like how the main actor, he looks very full of life at the beginning of this movie, and by the time the ending is happening, he looks very, very skinny and drawn, like she's literally draining the life out of him. So, which he like, there's stuff in this movie obviously about her youth and how he's older, obviously, but.
And honestly, even the way he's probably just shown most of the time, like just laying down by the end, he's always on his back. Like,
always on his back, like, oh, just let me sleep.
Yeah, yeah, he's even like, even if I fall asleep, you can just get on top of me. Like,
yeah.
A very interesting movie.
To say the least.
No, it's a really good movie.
No, I do love it. Yeah. Also, posters fire. I mean, you said it was like the reason why you.
Yes, at least the Criterion, is that the same poster as the?
I don't think it's the same.
Oh, that's probably definitely.
The one on
not.
Criterion is like he's on his ground. There's. On the
Yeah, that's
ground,
what I was
like,
thinking. That's the one I was thinking.
That's
I actually
a great
don't know
one.
what the original release poster was. Let me look.
That is kind of Criterion. Okay, I shouldn't hate on them, but I feel like it's more rare for them to have a great poster. That's especially recently. I feel like they've been missing.
Recently?
Maybe recently, but they got some good ones.
They've got some good ones.
They got some
They
really
have some
good ones.
classic ones, yeah. Like the Rules of the Game one, you just watched it. Like,
That one is
that
great.
one's like amazing. That might be their best one.
Yeah, recently they've had some bad ones. If I recall.
Hard boiled, they have a really good one, honestly.
I don't know the hard. I actually don't think I've been really keeping up with what they've been announcing. So anyway, yeah, that's in the realm of the senses. I don't want to say I recommend this movie to everyone. Only if you're up for the task.
I would say reading the essay could help. Though.
Reading
That
the
too,
essay
yeah.
definitely helps.
Definitely would recommend that.
Especially if you don't know anything about Oshima,
Yeah, or just
I
read
guess.
what people have written about it, just in general. But yeah,
But if you're listening to this, I'm just sure you're like,
You
yeah,
probably
way
liked
more
it.
willing, way more likely to watch.
yeah.
Watch this. But maybe
Yeah,
not.
hopefully some poor soul isn't just like randomly, some like poor innocent soul stumbles upon this episode and is like, "What's that?" I guess that they would probably hear and be like, "No," but anyway. Next week, what are we doing?
We didn't talk about it.
Are we starting our next series? Like,
We can maybe.
that didn't sound very confident out of
We
you.
don't have to.
We don't have to.
It's just up to you guys since we're gonna be having to do 2 at once here soon. This is more stuff we should talk about.
Oh,
But
yeah, brainstorming on the pod. You know what? Next week we have no
We have
idea.
an
It's a
episode
surprise.
we
It's
have an episode coming. Yes,
It's a surprise. You'll find out next week.
Well, it'll be the notes hopefully too. So
Yeah.
That's true.
If we decide by tonight, that is. But
We will.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for listening, and until next time, hope to see you floating through the clouds.